Hello everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Desperado Van Adventures back again with another video. Now I'm standing outside Portrush train station. I didn't bring the van down into Portrush because there's a motorcycle race on and a lot of the roads are closed. I'm staying further up in a place called Castlerock. Anybody local will know where that is. Nice wee spot up there, but I thought I would come down and see if I can get a few video clips of the racing. So in this video I'll take you a walk around Portrush and down to the Metropole corner where the racing's taking place. Then we'll take a walk into the amusement centre, the old Barry's amusements, and then down to the harbour. Unfortunately I didn't get close enough to the race circuit to get any decent video clips. But if you Google Northwest 200 motorcycle race, I'm sure you'll get loads of videos that people have made. So here we go. I'm sure you're fed up looking at that purple bin. So first up, with a couple of very young bikers, and one of them has Ignite 616 on the front of the bike. And I thought to put it on their sale, they maybe made that and put it on, but apparently the bike's like that when you buy it. So this is us walking down towards the former Barry's amusements. We'll have a look around here and then we'll make our way down to the Metropole corner. So keep an eye out for yourself if you were at the races, or anyone you know, because there's a lot of people in this video. Well, here's a little bit on the Northwest motorcycle race itself. The Northwest 200, established in 1929, is Northern Ireland's largest annual sporting event and one of the world's fastest road races. Originally a 200-mile handicap race on an 11-mile circuit, it now features professional riders hitting speeds over 200 miles an hour on an 8.9-mile triangular course, linking Port Stewart, Coleraine and Portrush. Well, the sun's shining and everybody's walking about with coats on. The reason for that is there's a north wind blowing, a very cold wind, and it wouldn't be too nice to be walking about in a t-shirt. You'd be foundered. So here we are walking down towards the amusement centre. Now we're not going to go into it this time. We'll go into it later on. I think we got hungry. We got hungry when we got down there, so we nipped across the road and got a couple of sausage rolls. So that kept us topped up for a while. Later on in the video we'll go into the fun park, former Barry's amusements, and then we'll go down to the harbour and show you around the harbour a bit. The harbour bar is one of the most popular bars in Portrush. Now this is where we sat and devoured our sausage rolls, just overlooking the old town hall. So there's a little bit about it. Built in 1872 at a cost of $2,300. You wouldn't get much for $2,300 these days, especially in property. We'll cross over the road again and make our way up past the station again and then down to the Metropole corner, and I'll let you see all the bikes parked up. Portrush is a peninsula. It's actually like a finger going out into the sea, so you have a beach on both sides and you have a harbour and a harbour bar, which is very, very popular. A lot of people go to Portrush and they end up having a few drinks at the harbour bar. If you have a campervan or a motorhome, Portrush isn't a great place to come to if you want to stay overnight. There's only one little place, and I think it holds about 8 to 12 vans, and it fills up very quick. So if you don't get in there There's nowhere else in Portrush that you can park except for the camping sites, but then come the weekends they're all booked out. But for some reason this weekend, the Northwest 200 weekend, the camper vans are parked everywhere, and they seem to be turning a blind eye to it. So maybe they've realised that camper van people are spending money in the town, which we all do. So hopefully they'll come up with something, some kind of an air. They did have an air a couple of years ago. It was only something like £5 a night to stay there. They hadn't met much facilities. I think it was only water, fresh water, and a place to empty your grey waste. That's your dishwater and stuff like that. But they didn't have a Nelson, as they call it, a place to empty your chemical toilet. Anyway, we'll move on down the road here towards the Metropole corner. Now, I'd seen this on the way down on a trailer. A nice bike with a roof on it. It was expensive enough at £3,650. So we're still on our way down here. It's only about a 5-10 minute walk from the station. And this is where a lot of people will stand and watch the race. But this year the barrier is a lot further up the road, and you can only see the bikes going round the Metropole corner from a distance. There is a lot of other places you can watch the race. This part here is really a slow part where they're coming down and round the bend, but if you go up onto the Port Stewart Road it does get a bit faster, and then you have the University Road heading towards Coleraine, and it's very fast. Some of the bikes would be going almost 200 miles an hour on them small country roads. It's unbelievable. So we're going to cross over here shortly, and this is where a lot of the bikers that I said come from far and wide to watch the race. There's bikers from England, Scotland, Wales, and parts of Europe, Holland, you name it. They come here. They love the race. This is us going down through the field, the grassy area, where they all park their bikes and get a glimpse of the race. There's some fantastic bikes sitting here. Now this is a nice bike sitting up here on the left. Very comfortable looking. Look at that back seat with the backrest and everything on it. Beautiful. Beautiful big bike. Obviously there's a lot of people come here just for the day out. A big event, and it's the atmosphere of the place. In the 70s, me and my mates would have come up here, and it was only the matter of bringing a tent with you and going over into the sand dunes, putting the tent up, and that was you for the weekend. A bottle of cider, and then in the evening we would have went and got a fish and chips, and then after that we maybe went and got another bottle of cider, and then maybe another one. They were the days. So we're making our way on down here, getting close to the track. But as I said earlier in the video, I didn't get any clips of the riders. They seemed to have stopped when we came down here. I thought it was there was a lot of time between each race. Normally you hear the bikes roaring round the track all day long, but they seem to stop. I think there was a couple of incidents. I think there was oil in the track, and there was some other incident happened, and it did hold up a couple of the races, now that I think about it. Now there's a guy taking it easy in the sunshine between the races. And there's the man van supporting men's mental health. There's a gazebo. There's not much happening in it. And a big Monster energy drink pickup. That's a massive pickup. And you have the ambulance sitting on standby. And you have a few policemen on motorcycles down there. They do come in handy in a minute or two, as you will see. I'm not sure if that's a burger van there. I didn't see any hot food trailers there. That might be one. I don't know. I didn't see anyone. You normally see people walking about with burgers and hot dogs, but I didn't see any. I seen there's an ice cream van. That was all I seen. No, it's not a hot food bar. And there's a wee dog. I like that wee dog. Beautiful wee thing. So this is where the police comes in handy. Just down here a little bit. I did spot something lying on the grass. And there it is on the grass. A mobile phone. And a pretty good one at that. So what I actually done was take it over to the police on their motorbikes. And I had only done that when I come back to where I was standing. There was a guy looking for it. And he said, "You didn't see a phone?" I says, "I did." I says, "The police have it for you." So he went over and got it. He got it off the police. He was sitting down that wall apparently, and as soon as he got up, it slipped out of his pocket. So have you seen anyone you know yet? I only live about 40 miles away, and there's a lot of people from where I live come up here, and I didn't see one person that I knew the whole day I was there. Now, as I said earlier, Portrush isn't very campervan motorhome friendly. You really can't get a place to park now unless you use a camping site, and at weekends camping sites are usually booked out, so you may forget it. But there is a couple of places you can stay in Bushmills, which isn't far away from Portrush. There was one big car park in Bushmills, but they did close it. You can't park up there any longer. It was actually the car park where the bus comes in to take you to the Giant's Causeway. They closed that one off, but there is a couple of other smaller ones. And then if you go up the other way next Port Stewart, apparently there's a couple of places in Port Stewart you can park. Castlerock you can park There's one little place in Castlerock that you can park, and then you have Bushmills Beach. You can park there, and you can park in Magilligan. So plenty of places other than Portrush. Portrush is really just a seaside town. A few hours walking around Portrush is really enough for me. Some people love a nice crowded seaside town, but I'm not into it all the time. I don't mind a couple of hours, but I wouldn't like to stay a whole weekend in Portrush. Okay, back up the road again to the amusements, the former Barry's amusements. We'll go in there and have a look around. I noticed there's not a big lot of people in here. Years ago, this place, you couldn't get moving in it when it was Barry's amusements. But I suppose it's to do with the racing. A lot of people's down at the circuit. There's a lot of the rides in here there's no one on them. The Dodgems is sitting. I noticed they were sitting waiting on people coming along. But as I said, there's very little people in here. It's mostly adults. There's very little children. There's a few, but not a big lot. And this merry-go-round, there isn't one child on that merry-go-round. It's just spinning round with nobody on it. So they're not doing too good for some reason. So we're actually making our way to the toilets. That's where the toilets is, out the back of the amusements. And there used to be a big dipper out here, a big massive fun ride, the Big Dipper. But this is all they have here now. It's called the spinning cup or something like that, and it's a miniature version of the Dipper. There is a bit of a crowd queuing up, but again not a massive amount of people. And look at this guy here, or this witch, giving me a mouthful. That's actually the ghost trains, and there doesn't seem to be anyone taking the rides there either. So there you go, that's the former Barry's Amusements. Fun Park, I think you call it now. So we're back outside again. And that's the Helter Skelter we're passing. I think that guy's going to fall asleep there on the steps, waiting on people coming. So you take a left here, and this will take you down to the beach, one of the beaches. As I said, it's a peninsula. There's a beach on the other side of the peninsula. But we did go down. I didn't film the whole way, but we went down. We're actually going to try and make our way up to the Port Stewart Road and watch a bit of racing. But we couldn't hear any motorbikes roaring round the road. So we didn't know what was happening, and it was quite a walk. So we just turned back again and come back up into the town. So this is us heading towards the harbour now. So over the little bridge, if you turn left, you can walk up up the harbour, and more or less straight across, that's the harbour bar. That was doing well. There was a lot of people there. I did walk over there, got a pint of Guinness and a plastic pint glass and brought it over to the seat over here. There's a big old Rolls Royce. Nice big car. In the distance there you can see the sailing club, and that's the harbour bar to the right beside it. So I took a walk up the harbour. And a couple of fancy boats sitting down in there. I think that's just a fishing boat there. And a couple of nice boats sitting there. And then there's a big dredger boat from Dublin. It says Dublin on it, so it must have come up. They must have got it up to dredge the harbour. Now we're coming near the end of the video now. There is a bit more to see in Portrush. I didn't take you up round the streets or the other side of the peninsula, but I'll do that in another video. Now, as I said earlier in the video, Portrush isn't very campervan motorhome friendly, but I have put links in the description of other places that aren't too far away, so hopefully you'll get sorted out with one of them. Well, that's it folks, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.